Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel Srikanth Gurukul. Here we are with a new video along with the daily current affairs of the VISION IAS. In this video, we shall discuss the news of 1st December 2022 and let's go through it one by one. The first news that is regarding regarding a report released by the World Bank. The report is on climate investment opportunity in India's cooling sector, and here are some of the highlights of this report. And the report highlights that by 2030 over 160 to 200 million people across India could be exposed to the lethal heat waves annually, and by 2030 around 34 million people they will face job losses due to heat stress related productivity decline. Due to the productivity decline, this much people will face job losses. And current food loss that is due to the heat during transportation is close to 13 billion annually. And by 2037 the demand for cooling that is likely to be 8 times more than current levels, and leading to an expected rise in 438% in annual greenhouse gas emission for our next 2 decades. And keeping spaces schools that is using the innovative energy efficient technologies that can open an investment opportunity of $1.6 trillion by 2040. And the report also gives some recommendation, and here are some recommendation. It recommended to adopt the climate responsive cooling techniques as a norm in both private and government funded constructions, and to invest in pre-cooling and refrigerated transport that can help food loss by about 76%, and to reduce the carbon emission by 16%. It also proposes a roadmap to support India Cooling Action Plan, new investment in three major sectors, and the three major sectors are building construction, cold chains, and refrigerants. And here is a small note regarding the India Cooling Action Plan. So it was launched in 2019. That is to provide the sustainable cooling measures across various sectors like indoor cooling in buildings, cold chain and refrigeration in agriculture and pharmaceuticals, air conditioning in passenger transport, etc. And the main objective of this plan is to reduce the demand for across sectors by 20% to 25% by 2037-38. And the next topic that is regarding again a report that is given by the Kirit Parikh panel, that is on the gas prices. The report is on gas prices, and as per the report, it provided the gas pricing recommendation to ensure a fair price for consumers and increase share of the gas in India's energy mix to 15% by 2030. So presently, on the present status of the gas pricing, there are multiple gas pricing mechanisms, that is APM and non-APM. What is APM? That is administered price mechanism. So what is this mechanism? Mechanism is a formula based and considers price prevailing at major international market such as Henry Hub, National Balancing Point, Alberta and Russia. Prices are notified after every 6 months. Okay, and the report also gives some recommendations. It recommended for completely free and market determined pricing of natural gas extracted from legacy fields, and remove all caps by 1st January 2027. Then what is this legacy field? So the legacy or old fields that are given to the ONGC and oil on a nomination basis without any conditions of sharing profits, and therefore the government controls its price. And it also recommends to link the price of the gas produced by state-owned firms to imported crude oil prices, and it also include the natural gas. It also recommend to include the natural gas in GST regime. And there are also some measures taken by the government of India to move towards a gas based economy, and the measures are there are the initiatives are the natural gas marketing reforms announced by the government in India to increase the domestic production of the natural gas, and the government India also planned a 60 billion investment for creating a gas infrastructure till 2024. And the gas infrastructure, it includes pipelines and CGD, that is city gas distribution networks, and it also connected the eastern and northeastern parts with the gas grid by developing Pradhan Mantri Urja Ganga project and Northeast Gas Grid project. And what are the significance of this gas based economy? Why the government of India is focusing on the to move towards the gas based economy? Uh, Here are some significance, that is it is economic, it has economic advantage because the CNG is cheaper than the gasoline or and diesel, and it is also environment friendly because a very low emission of particulate matter, and it also fulfilling the climate change mitigation commitments of India in global stage. Next topic, that is regarding the Project Great Indian Bustard. Recently, the Supreme Court noted the idea in line with the Project Tiger while hearing a plea seeking to protect the Great Indian Bustard from overhead power lines projects in Rajasthan and Gujarat. Earlier, uh, Supreme Court also had ordered the power companies to make a high tension power lines underground to protect the Great Indian Bustard, and it also highlight the Project Tiger program. It is one of the most successful conservation program for a single species in world. So other species specific projects that is in India are Project Elephant, Project Snow Leopard, Ascetic Lion Conservation Project, Project Dolphin, etc. And here are some information about the Great Indian Bustard. Its habitat include arid and semi-arid grasslands and open country with the thorn scrub and tall grass interspersed with cultivation, and it avoids in irrigated areas. So its habitat include arid and semi-arid grasslands, and but it avoid irrigated areas, and it open country with thorn scrubs and tall grass interspersed with cultivation. Rajasthan has the highest population of Great Indian Bustard, and it is endemic to the Indian subcontinent. And in the important sites in India are Desert National Park Sanctuary, that is in Rajasthan, Nalia, that is in Gujarat, and Warara, that is in Maharashtra, and Bellary, that is in Karnataka. And its IUCN status is critically endangered. And what are the threats to the Great Indian Bustard? That is hunting, habitat erosion, greening projects that transforms arid grasslands to wooded areas, and predators preying on the eggs, etc. And it is the one of the species that is for recovery program under the Integrated Development Wildlife Habitats of Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. Now let's move to the next topic, that is regarding the India's G20 agenda. Recently, the Prime Minister, speaking on the occasion of the India assuming the G20 presidency, he highlighted the several priorities for the G20. The first priority, that is promoting the universal sense of oneness. So, India, the India's priority will be, because India will be the presidents for the next 1 year, president of the G20 for next 1 year. So the G20 India's G20 agenda will be fixed by now declared by the Prime Minister, and the first priority, that is the promoting the universal sense of the oneness. It is inspired by the Indian theme of the G20 presidency, that is one earth, one family and one future, or Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. And the second another priority, that is a present the India's experiences in leveraging technology to create digital public goods as template for others and particularly developing world, and depoliticizing the global supply of food, fertilizers and medical products, so that the geopolitical tensions do not lead to the humanitarian crisis. And other priorities like life It is a lifestyle for environment. It is introduced by the Indian Prime Minister in the COP26. And disaster risk reduction and resilience, fight against economic crimes, multilateral reforms, etc. And here are some information about the group of 20. It is a G20. uh, G20 is a forum of 20 countries, that is G7 countries, that includes the Canada, France, Germany, Italy, Japan, United Kingdom, and United States of America, and plus one, that is the Russia. Then it will become G8, and another 12 countries: Argentina, Australia, Brazil, China, European Union, India, Indonesia, Mexico, Saudi Arabia, South Africa, South Korea, and Turkey. So this is the these they are the member of the G20 country. It is a premier forum for international economic cooperation that was founded in 1999 as a forum for the finance ministers and central bank of governors after the Asian financial crisis. So it was founded in 1999. So it represents around 85% of the global GDP, over 75% of the global trade, about two-thirds of the world's population. Two-thirds of world population, 75% of the global trade, and 85% of the global GDP. So the G20 presidency, it streets the G20 agenda for 1 year and host the summit. Now, for the next 1 year, India will steer this agenda, and India will host the summit of the G20. It does not have a permanent secretariat, and the presidency is always supported by the Troika. Troika means is a previous presidency, current president, and the incoming presidency. Presently, the Troika comprises of, because the previous presidency was with the Indonesia, and the current presidency is with India, and the incoming presidency, that will be with Brazil. So Indonesia and the Troika, that comprises Indonesia, India, and Brazil. Okay. Now let's move to the next topic, that is regarding some findings of the World Bank. Findings are the part of the latest World Bank Migration Development Brief that analyzes trends in migration related sustainable development goal indicators. And what are the key findings? Top 5 recipient countries are India, Mexico, China, Philippines, and Egypt. Who are the top 5 recipient countries? That is the India, Mexico, China, Philippines, and Egypt. Downside risk in remittance, that include the further deterioration in war in Ukraine, volatility in oil prices and currency exchange rates, and downturn in a major high income countries. And due to this, there is a downside risk in the remittances. What are the key findings that is related to India? So remittance flow will rise 12% to reach $100 billion this year, and are expected to account for 3% of its GDP. And United States surpassed the UAE as a top source country for India. Before, the UAE was the top source country for remittances, but now United States surpassed the UAE. Remittances flows were enhanced by wage hikes and strong labor market in US and other OECD countries. The share of remittances from US, UK, and Singapore, that increased, while the share from 5 Gulf Cooperation Council, that is the Saudi Arabia, UAE, Kuwait, Oman, and Qatar, has been dropped. What are the importance of the remittances? Vital source of the household income for low and middle income. These are the vital source of the household income for low and middle income countries, and they alleviate poverty, alleviate poverty, improve nutritional outcomes, and are associated with higher school enrollment rates, and it can impact growth positively via investment and access to credit. Okay. Next topic, that is regarding the International Maritime Organization strategic plan. Recently, the decision was taken during the ongoing session of the Council of the International Maritime Organization and it will help in resolving the regulatory bottlenecks in maritime sector. And India also supported this decision, and this decision is on adoption of a maritime single window system as a part of the digitization initiative. And the IMO, that is the International Maritime Organization Assembly, it meets every 2 years, and it adopts a strategic plan for the organization which covers a 6 year period. Okay, it meets every 2 years and it adopts a strategic plan for the organization and which covers a 6 year period. It comprises a uh, mission and vision, strategic directions and performance indicators, and list of expected outputs. Digitization is not comprehensively observed within the 8 strategic directions under existing strategic plan. What are the benefits of the digitization in the maritime industry? The benefits are it connects and smoothen the communication between all stakeholders on the global supply chain, and it also increase the competitiveness and enhance operational efficiency, and it's for industry along the decarbonization path to realize the zero emissions from international shipping by mid-century. And here are some information regarding the International Maritime Organization. What is this organization? It is a specialized agency of the United Nations, and its headquarters is in London, UK. And they remain responsible for measures to it's responsible for measures to improve safety and security of international shipping and prevent pollution from ships. And it also involved in legal matters and including liability and compensation issues and facilitations of international maritime traffic. And here are some small news. And the first news, that is regarding the United Security Council. India, last year, India takes over the presidency of United Nations Security Council, and now India is in the final month of its 2 year term, that is 2021-22, as a non-permanent member in United Nations Security Council. India began its 2 year term, that is in January 2021. And what is this United Nations Security Council? It is one of the 6 principal organs of the United Nations, with a primary responsibility for maintaining the international peace and security. And under the UN Charter, all member states are obliged to comply with Council decisions. And the United Nations Security Council is composed of 15 members, that is 5 permanent member plus 10 non-permanent members. And the 10 non-permanent member, they belong to the presidency of the non-permanent member, that is from Africa region, that is 3 countries. Sorry, out of the 10 non-permanent member, from Africa region there is 3 member countries. From Asia there is 2 member countries. From Latin America region there is 2 countries. Western Europe and others 2 countries, and from Eastern Europe there will be 1 country must be represent the region. Next topic, that is regarding the digital lending guidelines. So the digital lenders, they align with the new RBI digital lending norms ahead of the November 30 as the deadline. So what is this digital lending? It involves the lending through web platforms or mobile apps, utilizing technology for authentication and credit evaluation. So recently the RBI issued a norms for the digital lenders, that is to protect the consumers from breach of data privacy, unfair business conduct, charging the exorbitant interest rates, and unethical recovery practices by the fintech players. And the guidelines that is issued by the RBI are applicable to all regulated entities, that is to commercial banks, primary urban cooperative banks, and non-banking financial companies. Next news, that is regarding the horticulture cluster development program. So it is a program that is by the Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare, that is to enhance the global competitiveness in horticulture sector. And the national horticulture board is the nodal agency for its implementation, National Horticulture Board. And there are 55 there are 55 cluster that have been already identified in this under this program. The cluster development program that will leverage the geographical specialization of horticulture clusters and promote integrated and market-led development of pre-production, production, post-harvest, logistics, branding, etc. And India is the second largest producer of horticulture crops, second largest, accounting for approximately 12% of the world's population production of fruits and vegetables. So 12% of world's production, but it is the second largest producer of the horticulture. And the cluster development program, it aims to improve the exports of targeted crops by about 20% and create cluster specific brands to enhance the competitiveness. And it's the for implementation, the nodal agency is the National Horticulture Board. Next topic, that is regarding the maternal mortality ratio, MMR. So according to the Registrar General of India, the MMR that improved from 130 in 2014-16 to 97 in 2018-20. So what is this MMR? That is the maternal mortality ratio. It refers to, it is the number of maternal deaths during a given time period per 1 lakh live births. So it is the number of maternal deaths during a given time period per 1 lakh births. So for this 2018-20, there are only 97 number of maternal deaths during this period per 1 lakh live births. India achieved the national health policy target for MMR is of less than 100 lakh per lakh in live births, and it also it achieved the target, and it is on the right track to achieve the SDG target of MMR less than 70 per lakh per 1 lakh live births by 2030. So by 2030 it will be the India's target is to reduce the number to 70. What are the key initiatives for improving the MMR? Surakshit Matritva Ashwasan, that is Suman, Pradhan Mantri Surakshit Matritva Abhijan, Lakshya and midwifery initiatives. Okay. Next topic, that is 30 into 30 target. So SI is not likely to meet the 30 into 30 goal that is proposed in the post 2020 global biodiversity framework of the Convention on Biological Diversity. So what is this 30 into 30? It aims to protect the conserve the 30% of the world's terrestrial, freshwater, coastal and marine ecosystem. So it was first floated in 2019, and it presently more than 100 countries, India, including India, are part of this program. 30 and 30 target aims to halt the accelerating loss of species and protect the vital ecosystems that are source of the economic security. Next news, that is the Manthan platform. So it is the Manthan platform that won the best tech initiative of the year at Dun and Bradstreet Business Excellence Award 2022. So what is this Manthan? It is by Office of PSA that aims to change the landscape of science and technology based social impact, innovation and solution in India. And this platform, the Manthan platform, it promotes the collaboration between the industry and scientific R&D ecosystem that to help meet India's national targets and sustainable development goals. And the main aim of the platform is to empower the various stakeholders to scale up the interactions with the researchers or innovators and facilitate the R&D innovations and share challenges focused on emerging technologies. Okay. Next news, that is regarding the Shanghai Festival. Recently, the Prime Minister addressed the Manipur Shanghai Festival by video message. Here are some information about the Shanghai Festival. It is named after the state animal, that is Shanghai, of which is a bro untold deer that is found only in Manipur, Shanghai, it is found in the Kabul Lamjau National Park, and it's seen over the floating biomass that is called Phumdi. Okay, and it is the biggest annual cultural festival of the Manipur. It is organized every year in November. Biggest annual cultural festival. What are the locals exhibit their skills in net sports like focus famous martial art of the Manipur, Thangta. It is a combination of spear and sword skills, and Sagol Kangjei. It is an indigenous form of polo. And then last news, that is regarding the National Sports Award. And the National Sports Award, they are a collection of 6 awards given out to sports person, coaches or organizations for contribution towards the growth of the Indian sports. And these six core awards are the Major Dhyanchand Khel Ratna Award, Arjun Award, Dronacharya Award, Major Dhyanchand Award, Maulana Abdul Kalam Azad Trophy, and the Rashtriya Khel Protshahan Puraskar. And the awards are given annually by the Ministry of Youth Affairs. So it is important because the award are given annually by the Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports to commemorate the birth of anniversary of the hockey legend Major Dhyanchand. And this is it for this session. If you like the video, kindly like, share and subscribe our channel for more such videos. Thank you for watching.